song for the Fine Whining Pod. You've heard me, I am a place holding for the Fine Whining Gods. We need a new intro man, email us or DM me submission, or else you'll be hearing this shit every episode. Shit every episode. Shit every episode.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Fine Whining Podcast. The first live recording of the Fine Whining Podcast. It is I, Mike, joined with me as always, Jerry, and returning, John Jamingo.
I don't know if I'm returning because the episode that we did last week was so controversial that we've not been able to put it out. So...
You know, it was a good episode that only one person heard. But you know what? They might hear that. I might edit in some of those bits and put it into this episode that comes up for the pre-recorded stuff, for the audience who listens on the audio. Hello there. Mike the editor here. Sorry for the lack of uploads. Me and Jerry Boy, we've been kind of been busy and caught up with life. And in fact, he goes a little more into detail with his personal situation on his newest episode, Clud 197. Link will be below. You can hear that. I recommend it. Also, you probably have noticed there, John said there was a previous episode. Yes, there was, where we interviewed John for the role of the third mic, but it was a little too spicy for the old Spotify, and I couldn't upload it. Because I was editing it for a minute, but kind of came to the realization, for one, I can't upload it because of certain topics, and so editing it out, kind of made it gay, and it's like, I'll just scrap this. So I wasted a lot of time on that. Whatever, blame me for that. And thank y'all for your patience and support, and now back to the episode.
All right.
It kind of takes away the impact, though. I like when things are live, It's like 9/11, like when you watched it live, wasn't that shit terrifying? You were around during that time, John.
Yes, I was.
How scary was that shit?
It was really weird. I was working for an elevator company, and we had somebody fall through scaffolding, so OSHA was in giving us scaffolding training. And then back then, kids, we didn't have, we had cell phones, but everybody had beepers. It was just like the flip phones that you had. Mm-hmm. And everybody's beepers started going off all at once. And I was like, what the hell's all this about? And then the guy says, hold on, I got to call my wife. So the guy comes out and he goes, somebody flew a plane into the World Trade Center. So they're like, oh, hold on, sit down. Okay, we'll get back to it and all. So then, I don't know, 45 minutes or half an hour later, everybody's beepers started going off again. And we're sitting there, and then all of a sudden the guy says, they just flew a plane into the second one. And I looked down at my beeper, and it just said 9/11, which is, 911. And I said, that's odd. And then 45 minutes later, a guy walks in the back. He says, yeah, someone just flew a plane into the Pentagon. So then the instructor said, hold on, okay, everybody, let's get back to work here. And I said, get back to work. This is over. I said, this could be World War III. Somebody just attacked our Pentagon. I said, I'm not going to be sitting here looking at sitting here talking about scaffolding when all of a sudden there's a big flash and, and the world ends. I'm not going to do that. So, and that's when we got a TV, we rolled a TV and then we could start watching it. And then I'm sitting there and I said, that building, the one building, I said, it's got a tilt to it. And he goes, oh, those are built so they can't fall. And he didn't even get it out of his mouth. And it just started coming down. And I looked at him and he looked at me, goes, did that just happen? I go, that just happened. So yeah, it was a fucked up couple of days.
It was very impactful, and it's for the younger generation who are born after and saw it pre-recorded. Even me, when I was a wee lad, and I was a baby, I was just like, oh wow, pretty cool. It didn't mean nothing to me, but the people right now who are missing out on this live are gonna feel the same way. They're gonna be like, oh, so who cares? But right now, it's a big deal to maybe the two people watching it live right now.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I think again from doing this, with my other podcasts, I love the live version because we have people in the chat right now, and it kind of as we talk, it kind of helps. Sometimes they'll bring some topics to the board. So if you like it, we can do it. If you don't, we don't have to. So it's whatever you want to do.
Well, we shall see how it goes. But what we're here for is whining. So, you boys got anything to whine about this week?
Jerry?
Let me tell you, now that you bring up 9/11, let me tell you who actually did it. Let me tell you who the fuck did 9/11.
It was
I'll tell you what. I will tell everyone in the world I don't care because apparently the first episode that we did got so horribly dismembered by the big nose that we can't even put it up.
It was right?
Yes, it was. But let me actually go to my fucking wine. Oh my god!
All right,
so,
please do.
I went to a fucking club. It was yesterday. There was like a bunch of fights going on. It was like the UFC one, and then there was the boxing match with like Jake versus Chavez, all this bullshit. And we had gone. And okay, my whole thing is, I get people are going to sports bars, to watch sports and to chill and to socialize, whatever the fuck, right?
Quite in the name, yes.
Yeah. But some fucking people go and they don't even know what the fuck's going on. They don't know what the fuck's going on with the fights. They're not even watching the fights. They're just there talking about some bullshit. And we're standing up. We're like, yo, are they going to bring out more chairs? Are they going to put more tables out? No, they didn't want to because it's a fire hazard. We can't put it there. Oh my dude, you have a big ass backyard. Just put it here. Tell people to walk through this area. They didn't want to. Cool, right? And then as more people kept showing up during the night, you started off like midway, and by the main fight, we were basically next to the chairs, next to people. And I'm looking at these fucking people in front of me, and I'm like, why are they here? They're not watching the fights. They're talking about some bullshit that has nothing to do with the fucking fights, right? And they're not even drinking. But they told us that we couldn't fucking rent out anything, that we couldn't reserve a table because you had to spend more than $250, right? So they claim. But the people that are there aren't spending any money. They're not buying any buckets. They're not getting any drinks. They're just there. Oh, yeah, so we were in the office, and can you believe that they had this about... I'm like, dude, go somewhere else. Go to a coffee shop. Go fuck yourself. Like, why are you here? You're wasting people's time. I have to stand, and mind you, for anyone that understands this, right?
Okay.
This, I went with fucking Air Forces, literal Air Forces. Air Forces aren't meant for you to stand for fucking 5 hours straight. They're meant for you to walk like a little penguin, post up, walk again like a little penguin, post up, right? No, I was standing in the Air Forces for 5 hours plus. I was just like, oh my God. And then the food was non-existent. They had like a weird fusion, like Korean and Mexican. I was like, I'm not trying that bullshit. And then I bought a bucket of beer. So I'm expecting 6 beers. Cool. It had 5 beers.
They shorted you a beer?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, bro, I'm like,
damn,
what?
times are tough. No chairs and no extra beer.
No extra beer. And I'm like, dude,
that's $8 a beer if you do the math.
And then they still want a fucking tip. You want a tip for what? For short handing me my beers? And then when I went to get the beer, she's like, you need someone else with you. I was like, for what? She's like, you need someone else with you so I could tell you the beer. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, he's right there. I literally pointed at Andrew. Andrew was like not even like fucking 10 feet behind me. You can literally reach your arm. He was right there. She's like, no, he has to be right here so I could tell you the beer. I'm like, dude, fuck me.
Wait a minute.
I was pissed.
Hold on. For the old guys here, what is this a new rule now? Like you have to have 2 people. They can't sell one guy 5 beers?
Yes, you know what? It has happened. I recently went out with one of my family members. We went to some little bar place, and he wasn't drinking. But as me, the alcoholic, and we had a bunch of time to kill, and we're playing catch up. We're going to sit here, talk, and, for hours. I mean, I was like, I'm just going to get a pitcher of beer. And then I was like, okay, well, I got the pitcher. And they wouldn't want to sell me the pitcher unless he's drinking. And, of course, he fucked up and said, I'm not drinking. Only he is. And he's like, well, we can't sell you the pitcher now.
What do we live in? What do we do? Is this America? Do we live in the land of the free and the home of the brave? Where all of a sudden we can't get a pitcher of beer? As long as I'm not driving, and as long as I can handle my beer, sell me the fucking beer. Who decided that somebody all of a sudden can't sell somebody beer because you need 2 people. Oh my God. I'm glad I'm not I'm glad I don't do this anymore.
I personally thought this was just a lame California thing, like, because California is lame like that. But you were in Texas, the land of the free, the fucking guns and eagles and beer, and you're telling me it's even infected there?
No, what happens is a lot of people go there, and specifically, this is what happened at Pluckers. Pluckers is a wing bar. Wings are pretty good, right? Not a plug or anything, but they're actually pretty good. And what ends up happening is like a lot of broads go there and they'll get like big ass beers. Like over here, the tall boys, right? They'll drink like 6 of them bitches and still think that they could drive when they're clearly fucked up. They'll drive out of Pluckers and not even like 2 minutes in, they fucking get into a massive car accident. And then they're like, hey, stop selling people this much beer. So at Pluckers now, you're only allowed to drink 2 tall boys. After 2 tall boys, they cut you off because they're trying to like save their image, saying like, no, it wasn't us. Like we're stopping people from drinking, right? Which I get. Pluckers, Wings Bar, whatever. Families go there. Cool. But if you have a fucking place that's literally for grown people to go watch sports, right? And get drunk at that, why are you like, nah, like you want a bucket? Nah, we need at least to see 3 people with y'all. Like
Jerry,
what?
Let me tell you a story back in the day. There was a bar that we used to go to. And you know the size of a beer pitcher, right? Mm-hmm. They would make a pitcher of kamikazes, and I forget how much it was.
Oh, nice.
And it would put it at the table, and they didn't give a shit. But here's the thing. You never were allowed to serve somebody that was drunk. So that's one thing. You're not allowed. But no one really followed that law because you're right. Because, again,
also saying no to a drunk person is very dangerous. You'll get fucking killed.
No, that's not true either. No, it wasn't Kaminsky's. It was a bar behind Kaminsky's. It was a little shot and beer bar. And you could go in and get a pitcher of kamikazes. And, you'd put a pitcher of kamikazes and 2 pitchers of beer on there. And you'd have like 5 guys around a table. And then you would just pour shots and drink beer. And, and again, back then, I guess we drove drunk. We did, but it wasn't that bad. Sometimes the cops, if you didn't crash into somebody, the cop would say, can you follow me home? And you go, yeah. And they would let you follow them home. But then some asshole probably crashed into a cop car and then people got sued and someone died. So that stopped that shit. There's always some asshole that goes too far and then ruins everything. Mm-hmm. Especially white broads. White broads ruin everything.
Like before you were able to smack them upside the head for acting out. Now it's like, oh, you can't do it. It's women beating. Like someone took it too far. Like I said, like me and Jerry, we talk about it. Like, sometimes some people need to be taught a lesson. Like, with your kids, sometimes when your kid acted up, you smack the little fucker upside the head. Like, hey, dude, get together. But because some asshole had to fucking lay the fucking beat down on him UFC style, you can't do that without someone calling the cops. And now these little fuckers running around unbeat. These white broads are running their mouth unbeat,
Well, there was this one bar. It was a... they have breweries out there now, right? So this one brewery decided to make beer out of strawberries. Well, the thing about strawberries, it has a very high sugar content. If it's a very high sugar content, it turns out to be a very high alcohol content. Here's the problem with this beer. It tasted like, what's that punch in a pouch? What's it called? Capri Sun. It tasted like Capri Sun. It went down like Capri Sun. So people started drinking this stuff, and they drank so much of it, they said they had to put a limit. You could only get 1 glass of it because when they first served it, the people were just projectile vomiting all over the bar. They ruined the bathroom. They ripped shit off the wall. They had to call the police and the fire company in, and they had to have the ambulance there because people were having alcohol. So then they looked at this, what's that specific gravity of it, and it was I think it was 14% alcohol by volume, which is unheard of for beer. But they said it was just like drinking Capri Sun, and they just drank it and it went crazy. I understand that, but I mean, a pitcher of 5 beers, you can't give a guy 5 beers in a bucket of ice.
So Jerry, I don't know if you're whining about the people fucking up the vibe there because they're not there for sports. I am that guy because I see a bar, your drinks are cheap. I don't give a fuck. I'm going there. I don't give a fuck about no sports going on. But also by saying no to people who don't want to watch the sports, you're literally getting all the women out the bar, which, I mean, after your team celebrates, don't you want to like fucking shoot one off like champagne into some broad?
But but you can't even really do that though. You can't do that nowadays, because if you even attempt to go to any broad in broad daylight, they're like, nah, get away from me, you fucking weirdo. And then you end up on TikTok as a fucking creep. Meanwhile,
it's a sports bar. You kind of know what's going on.
Yeah, but you can't risk that though. They're like, I will much rather be
give me some alcohol. I can risk it.
And be known throughout the world as like, yeah, he's a fucking racist. I'll take that with pride, with a fucking, it's an honor, some would say, right? Yeah, but I will not go down in history as a fucking creep. I refuse. It's like, hey, no, that wasn't me. You feel me? It's like, nah, that's not me, big dog. And then they're like, shut up, you fucking creep.
A racist is better than a creep?
Hell yeah. Well, people will respect it. They're like, you know what? He stands on his principle. But if they're like, oh, he just gropes fucking girls at bars, you're fucking cooked. No one wants you around. You're like, nah, that's the one that be touching people. Like, hell no. I don't want to deal with that.
You can always walk up to a girl, shoot your shot, and then if she says no, then you just say, okay, hey, listen, no harm, no foul. Ladies, have a good night, and you walk away. No big deal. But you got to be able to take and shoot your shot.
Yeah, but then if you even just attempt that, and you're already getting recorded on TikTok just because you looked over her way, right? Because the TV was right behind her. Talking about this creep was looking at me all night. Like, bitch, there's a TV behind you. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, I can't. Like, again, I'd rather not just be a fucking creep. I'm like, nah, I'm okay. I'm a racist, not a creep.
I'm just going to say this to you right now. One thing I would never do is walk up to a girl who was filming. Like, if she had a camera out, was pointing it at me, I would definitely not be walking up to her. I don't know if you can see the screen. Bob says, I usually just sit at the bar and lick my eyebrows. See, he thinks that's... Girls don't want that shit.
Yeah, but also, Jerry, I don't know what you're... Also, the wine about the beer thing, which I didn't know because Boston apparently banned happy hour.
Boston did?
Yeah, it makes sense. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people go there and they don't know, or maybe they do know their fucking limits, and they overdo it, and then they end up getting into fucking car accidents. They do the whole investigation, like, what happened, you know? And then it's always like, well, they kept serving them, so then they got drunk, and they obviously they can't really stop them.
But you're literally banning cheaper drinks because of some asshole. It's not like you could stop them, but you're really stopping the sale of cheap alcohol because of some asshole.
And you're also killing somebody's business because, you know, everybody, you know, it's the end of the day. You want to stop in, have a beer or two with some friends, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, and you can do that. And they draw people in. Again, it's just this. It's a mommy state. Why is it that everybody has to? You know, if you drink too much and you get caught drinking and driving, you lose your license for 6 months. You get $3,000 fine, and it costs you $3,000. Well, I don't know if it's any more now. $3,000 to get your insurance back. And listen, anybody that gets drunk driving charges today is a fucking moron. You guys got Lyft and Uber. I mean, Jesus Christ, you got all these ride sharing.
And Coke, remember.
What's the other one?
We got Coke. Hell yeah.
Oh, Coke. Well, I don't know if I've done both that. Well, that's not true, too.
I tell you, Mike knows I'm an excellent drunk driver. Hell yeah. Yeah.
When I was in Texas and me and Jerry were hanging out, we got drunk, and Jerry said he could drive while drunk. And you know what? I could say he drove pretty good for a drunk. Right. I can give them that. So, you know, there are some good drunk drivers out there. It's just the ones who suck.
I remember the very first time I tried cocaine. It was my 21st birthday. Yeah, it was my 21st birthday. And we went to this bar, and we tried it beforehand, and they lined up shots of Jack Daniels. I drank like 21 shots of Jack Daniels. I was right as rain. So Jerry's right. And then the next day I woke up and I didn't have a hangover or anything. I said, this stuff's amazing.
I tell you, because I tell you.
But the problem is now you can't even do it now because of fucking
fentanyl and all that bullshit.
Fentanyl, yeah.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate part. Like, okay, so this is the thing. A lot of people don't know, but like gay guys have some of the best coke for the main reason, like, no, they do.
Because how would we know this, Jerry?
I know based off of research myself, you know, because there's a bunch of gay bars and shit, and you could go to them. Everyone's all cool and friendly, like, oh, hey, you're like, what up, baby? And then you'll have this dude like spun the fuck out, drunk as shit, oh hey, you're like, what up, baby? And then they're like, do you partake in the activities? And I'm like, depends what kind of activities. And
The
then
gay kind.
they'll they'll pull out their little purse, and then they'll pull out a yum spliffer bag, and I'm like, oh hell yeah. And I till this day, because again, I've been to many of events, right? Till this day, every person that I know, or at least every gay person that goes around there, right? They'll pull out coke, and not once have I ever heard of a gay dude overdosing or having like a fucked up batch. But usually it's the like normal guys that meet some random fucking loser in a bar in the bathroom, right? And they fucking take a sniffle puff, and next thing you know, they're fucking seizing on the ground, and it's like, goddamn, you know? I think there's more of a quality control to gay coke than regular coke. Like there has to be, because I've never once heard of a gay person, you know, have fentanyl in his coke.
Also,
Yeah.
but that's mixed signals, because the person you would meet in the bathroom would be the gay guy who's out there looking for dick. So, like, do I avoid the bathroom gays, or do I have to like go outside the bathroom gay?
You gotta avoid the bathroom gays, bro.
Look, man. I mean, the gays, they got some great coke, and you know, it's great. But the only problem is the next day you wake up with a really sore asshole. So, you know, they got good coke, but it's
It's better than
mine was
ODing.
Yeah,
You can
mine
wash
was my
your asshole
throat.
out, power wash it
You
out.
know? I was like, yo, why my throat hurt? I'm like, well, at least I got home safe. Shit, fuck you. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet, but my wine, my bad. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. My wine was a fucking shitty goddamn, like, I want to say it's advertisement, because a lot of like it wasn't even this, because I also went to an event like maybe like I don't know, like last week as well. And online, the event was advertised like, hey, this is the shit. You can't miss out. Pull up. We're going to have this, and that. There's going to be this, and that. And I'm like, hell yeah, that shit looks baller. Same thing with Little Woodrows. Online, they make it seem like, yo, this is it. This is the number one sports bar in Houston. Slide through. We got do-do-do-do-do-do. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. And then when you show up, it's just fucking people that are there just to chit chat, like, oh, yeah. People that aren't even fucking drinking at that, right? You have overpriced beer that they're missing beer to begin with, you know, one, right?
So it's IPA or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, and even then, I asked for Modelo. I was like, oh, yeah, I got Modelo. They're like, yeah, the first batch, cool, it was straight Modelo. And then the second batch, they gave me Modelo Oro. Modelo Oro is like a light version of Modelo. It doesn't even taste like Modelo. It doesn't. It just tastes like fucking Corona. And I'm just like, nigga, I don't want no goddamn Corona. I want Modelo, you know? And then it's like just the advertisement they do that it makes it seem like, yo, this is really the spot. And then when you show up, it's nothing like the fucking advertisement. You're just like, dude, I got sold fucking snake oil. I got sold snake oil. And you can't do anything about it because you're already fucking 3 buckets in, a few shots in, and you're like, fuck.
And you can't walk away. It's like, well, you already dedicated the time, and you're thinking like, oh, well, maybe they fucked up. Maybe like this is the only one batch that has 5 beers.
No,
but then
it
you
was
then you
all
get the
the
second
batches.
batch, and it's still another 5
Yeah.
beers. We're already drunk at that point. It's like, well, fuck it.
And I had paid my parking. I already paid the parking, which, mind you, the parking, which is quote unquote public parking that you have to fucking pay for. You pay goddamn $30. I'm like, dude,
What the fuck?
I was pissed. I was like,
For
man.
a
And then
bar?
there-
$30?
and then there's homeless people right there, which is worse, bro, because then they're fucking begging for money. He's talking about, hey man, let me get some money. I'm like, how about you get a motherfucking job, homeboy? Fuck, if I gotta work, you gotta work. Ain't no hand me downs here. Fuck, I swear.
Can you
So
not
hang
feel a
on.
little bad for them, because their whole job is to get drunk and ask for money? They're already watching people get drunk and have fun, so it's kind of work for them to watch others have fun and ask for money, Jerry.
No.
Really?
If I have to work the whole week in sun, in no heat, no goddamn AC, fucking sick people around me, people that don't know what they're doing, they have to fucking work. At least get a job at McDonald's or Walmart, or just get a bullshit job. I don't care, you know? At least I'd be like, I respect you more, but you don't sit there and, hey man, let me
All right,
get
so-
some money. No.
Hold on. I let the old guy ask some questions here because I'm into this now. All right. So you paid $30 to park. How much was it for the price of the fight? Because you have to pay for the price of the fight when you get in there. How much was that?
No, that's where they get you. You don't pay to get in, or at least you don't pay in when we went. It was it was 9:00 when we got there. But you didn't pay. And again, it's a sports bar, so it's like they kind of let you in, but for the most part, they will come and badger you about like, hey, are you guys order drinks? Because if you don't order drinks, you can't sit at a table. You have to stand up the whole night.
So what we would do in Philly was we had the same problem. We had homeless people in Philly and all, and they'd come up and beg for money. So what we would do is we'd go into a bar, and a guy come up. He says, man, got any money? I said, I'll tell you what. I said, can you do me a favor? He goes, what? I said, see that car over there? And I tell him where my car was, and he said, yeah. I said, here's $20. Don't let anybody touch my car. Oh, man, okay. So then you had somebody sitting on your car that night, and nobody would get near your car. The guy was fucking... So we used to do that all the time. We give somebody a $20 to watch our car while we went into the bar. So,
but I think it's a little different in Texas for the main not issue. The main reason that everyone has a fucking gun. It doesn't matter who it is. Everyone has a gun in their person and in their car. And even when we walked into the bar, I thought that they were going to check me based on my appearance. He looked at my ID thinking that it was fucking fake. I was like, brother, look at my ID and look at me. Does it look fake? Like, dude, no, right? But they didn't even fucking pat you down. You could literally walk in there with a fucking gun. They wouldn't have said shit. No one would have been the wiser, which is insane. I was like, huh. I even told Andrew, I was like, yo, they ain't pat us down, right? He's like, no. I was like, interesting. Yeah, very interesting,
Yeah, but you got to remember, they didn't pat anybody else down either. So everybody's in there packing. So you got to mind your P's and Q's and be very, very respectful to people.
Shit, all I know is I was going to let that bitch air out so someone could fucking leave and we could sit down because I got tired of fucking standing up. I was like, dude, I'm not standing for fucking 5 hours straight.
What shoes did you have on?
I had Air Forces. They're these Nike Air Forces. They're fucking flat as fuck. Like they're just flat ass shoes. They're not meant for someone to be standing around for so long. They're meant for like you walk
picking up bitches.
It's feet jewelry for men.
Yeah,
feet
basically
jewelry for men.
God damn, I was tired. I said, again, had I known I was gonna be standing the whole fucking night, I would have worn my boots straight. I would have worn my boots. But also too, all the people that were there were apparently fucking belligerent fucks that weren't looking down on the ground because they would fucking kick the bucket. And I started getting fucking pissed. I'm like, yo, watch where you're going. You're fucking like you're a fucking dickhead. And they're like, they look back like, what? I'm like, bro, there's a big ass bucket. It's not like it's small. There's a big ass bucket with ice and beer sticking out, and kick the shit out of it. I'm like, dude. It was so fucking annoying. The shit was whack. My point, fuck fake advertisement. That should be illegal. You should be able to see like actual videos from other people, which you can, right? Granted, they're the ones that had the good seats, but there should be a thing online that says like, hey, if you're not going to spend more than $300, you're not going to be able to fucking sit down. Like that should be said before you go in there thinking that you could just sit down. Like, man.
$138 for a pair of sneakers you can't even stand up in? For more than an hour?
Hell yeah, it's for the bitches. It's for the hugs. I'm peacocking. That's a new way of peacocking. You gotta
you think that maybe, just maybe, they would actually put some padding in. For $138, you think they could pad in there?
Fuck no. They're made in China. They don't give a fuck. They're for the hoods. I got the hoods. And the boots too. Shit.
John, you were a young buck. Did you ever like wear any kind of like watches, maybe like an earring or necklaces? Were you ever into that?
I only had an earring for like a weekend because I needed it for a Halloween costume. I never had an earring. I don't have any tattoos. You know what? I don't think.
A bit.
Never
Not
really
even a nice car.
I mean, back in, I forget what year it was, but I had a 77 Monte Carlo. It was pretty sweet. But besides that, probably no. Mm-mm.
And we do all these things for his broads. Look at Jerry's feet probably has blisters on it. He don't even get the blisters on his feet from work. But he's getting blisters on that shit, standing for the Air Force Ones for a nice girl. And also like people, they get these nice cars to get some bitches, and like this motherfucker burns fucking, gas. I mean, he's like, shit, you turn on the car, it's already 1 gallon gone and shit, man. Oh.
Yeah, no, no gold chains, no unbuttoned shirts, nothing like that. Well, I mean, we had, no, I really never did that. I never really peacocked. I mean, I was a jeans and shirt kind of guy and sneakers, and that's the way I rolled. Very cash. No peacocking.
It's just a rock shirt, black shirt. Boots and jeans. The only thing I do care about, but you know what? For the ladies, because the ladies love my hair. But there's also for me, because I like to treat my hair to some nice shampoo. Like, I use myself some Paul Mitchell, fucking get my hair nice and sleek and nice, The women are like, oh, I love your hair. And I was like, yeah, bitch, I know. I love it too.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, saying how awesome. See, you got to do things that benefit you and also benefit others. Too,
your hair?
Yeah.
Your shampoo?
Yes.
Sorry, but I got a call. Sorry. Cut me a break.
Well, John, did you ever have the long locks, the beautiful, luscious hair?
I had, back in the day, I did have hair, but I never. Trust me, I never got shampoo or did anything like that. I mean, I had a haircut, but I never had a, like I said.
Wait, but you say you had an earring for one day or like a few hours?
Yeah, yeah. So I went to
Were you trying to get coke out of the bathroom?
No. So what happened was we were going to a Halloween party, and I was going as a punk rocker. So I had everything. So then I said to the lady it was just such a faggot move. I said to the lady, I said, "Hey, listen, you got any clip-on handcuff earrings for my?" And she goes, "Clip-on hand? Who the fuck would that?" So we got them, but you got to get your ear pierced. And I said, fuck it. Okay, pierce my ear. So she pierced my ear and put the handcuff earrings. And the next day, my ear got so fucking infected. I mean, there was pus and shit coming out of that. And I took it out the next day. No, I went to the races the next day. I went to a race the next day. I couldn't get them out. I couldn't get it out. It was so sore I couldn't get it out. And the mechanic goes, "Come here." And he walks over with a pair of side dikes and cuts up on both sides and then pulls it out. He goes, there, faggot. You're not going to be in my pit with fucking earring in your ear. But this was in 1985. So,
My question is, how come, where does that whole fucking thing come that if you wear the earring on the left side or the right side, like, you're gay? Was that just something y'all came up with, or that was just like
the gays? The gays started that so they could identify the gays. You put it in, I think you put it in your right ear. And then other people started putting, they all started putting it in your left ear. My dad was one of those guys that he was no bullshit. And he said to me, he says, "You get an earring, I swear to God, I'll pierce your other ear with a hammer and a nail." And I knew he meant it. So I never got an earring when I was a kid. Well, when I say I was a kid, like when I was 17, 18. He didn't fuck around. He'd have definitely done that before. He would have definitely done that. He would have grabbed.
It's weird because a lot of Latinos like piercing their babies' ears and stuff, but as soon as they grow up, they're like, "Nah, get that gay shit out of your ear."
Well, I mean,
the girls, yeah,
girls, not guys. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know that now. But like my dad would have said,
there were some like little boys, like little cholitos that would have their ears pierced.
I think their moms did it.
I can't get over the guys now that get both ears pierced. I'm like, what are we doing here? But my dad would have walked right up to me and just grabbed a hold of that earring, would have yanked it out, and I would have had, he would have yanked it right out of my ear. So
okay, so even now, you still believe that someone having their ears pierced is gay, or how does that work?
No, not now. You know what's gay? What I think is gay now is those fucking gauges that they put in their ears. And I
think Cheese's fucking piercing's gay. His little cow piercing, that shit.
The septum, the one that goes through your nose.
Because the only people that I see have that are girls that work at Starbucks, and then here comes
or
Cheese.
emo bro, goth broads.
Yeah, you're telling me Cheese has that bull ring through the center of his nose?
Yeah,
it's so you could tie a little rope and pull him while you fuck him or something.
I'm sorry, but I got a call. Faggots! Sorry, I can't help that. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's such a dumb look. Even
he
with
wonders
a
why
woman.
he can't get no bitches because he's like, oh, he's a safe gay friend.
That he'll leave the house, so shit.
Well, there's also that too.
It's stacked up against him.
I wouldn't leave the house either if I had a piercing through my nose like that.
I bet you when he orders his Uber Eats and there's like a hot Uber Eats girl, she's like, God, I wish I could meet a stud who's fuckable. Knocks on the door, sees him, oh, another faggot, then moves on. He could have had it.
God.
Little cheese boy. Nah, I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Because like I got a bunch of piercings everywhere. So like
where's everywhere? You got yourself a Prince Albert?
Nah, that's too much. I wouldn't defile my little dick. I don't have enough to show, so I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I already have to work with something. Nah, I mean, I got my ears pierced. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 earrings
in your ear.
Well, they're on both sides. Like I got a big one, like a big stud, and then I have a baby stud. It's like a complimentary thing. I have one on the top. I have my nose pierced, which, whatever. It's like a small stud. I got my eyebrow piercing. Like, I just have piercings, but it's like
fucking Hellraiser.
Well, here's the thing. Well, first of all, we were never allowed on the job site. We were never allowed to have rings or piercings in because.
Oh, yeah. They trip out about that, too. They're like, oh, well, you can't have that on. I'm like, dude, it's for religious purposes. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, but if you get shocked, you just think about that. I'm like, dude, if I'm getting shot with 277, you think a fucking earring's gonna be the difference? Like, no, I'm getting shot with 277. I'm fucking dead. Like, what the fuck does it matter? I'm gonna die in Air Forces and fucking earrings. I'm gonna die swagged out. Fuck you talking about? Like, the hood's gonna pick me up. Like, oh, he was a fine man. Like, hell yeah.
I want to be all tricked out when my corpse is in the casket.
Yeah, shit.
All
I ain't gonna look
smoking
like
and shit.
Scrub the fuck. Hell nah.
That's the worst part about affirmative action, because people use it for the race thing, but it also allowed you to keep beards, ponytails, piercings, and tattoos too. They would hire you because you can't judge how someone looks. It's like, well, cool. I remember, because even at my job, I had to put my hair in a ponytail all the time, and I even had to shave a lot. Like, I couldn't have like any kind of beard or anything. But then now these fuckers are allowed to just style their hairs, have beards, these tattoos on their fucking necks and shit. And all I had was just like a little bit long hair at the time. It wasn't even like a massive great hair too.
Yeah, well, I was working in a refinery, and you could not have any facial hair. Like if you even had like a thick beard, they would make you shave before they would let you in, because if you had to put a mask on or something like that, they wouldn't let you in. And the other thing was, we weren't allowed to have ponytails. There's no way, especially in the business I'm in. If you get your hair caught in a fucking cable or something, next thing you know, you scalp them like an Indian.
Yeah, no, we still can't have like facial hair at what's it called? That what the fuck was that word you just said? At a
job?
Not mines. No, not the job. The goddamn
Refinery.
Refineries. Yeah, you can't have facial there. Like, you can't have facial hair. You can't have long hair. All that bullshit. So it's like they told me that. I was like, I'm not a fucking loser. And I was like, I'm cool. I ain't take that job. I was like, bro, because like, okay, that's the thing. I can't take off one of my piercings. Like, it's permanently in my skin. And like, the only reason I would be able to take it off is if like they literally ripped it out of my fucking face. So I'm just like, I'm not going through that. The fuck, like, it hurt just to get it in there. I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me take it off. It's not like an earring, because do you know what a thermal piercing is, John?
No.
Look it up. A thermal piercing is basically this little piercing that goes under your skin. They make a hole in your skin. They put it inside. They twist it. It locks in. And then your own skin covers it. Like, it scars over it. And then you just have like a little rod sticking out of your skin. You can't take that off. That's permanent. Like, that, once it's in there, it's in there. Now, granted, when I got it done, I was like, hell yeah, this shit look fire. But they said it was permanent. I was like, yeah, no shit, everything's permanent, But then once they put it in and all that, they're like, yeah, you can't take this off. I was like, oh, for like 2 weeks, whatever. They're like, no, you can't take it off ever. I said, God damn it. And
if you decide to get it out, they got to cut it out?
Nah, yeah, they basically have to like cut it out, and then you're just gonna have a fucking scar on the wherever you got it done.
Do you regret it at least? Like,
no, look, I regret it when it gets caught, or when I can't like do my face.
I guess you do.
I'm like, God damn it. But like, beyond that, like, I don't know. It's just part of me. I'd be like, I look cool. I'm like, I guess it comes down to you. Like, if you really have regrets because you look at yourself like, man.
Well, you got to remember, like when I was growing up, that guys wearing earrings and all that was brand new. And I'm sorry, but it was, to me, it would just look gay, So I know as things have evolved and people are getting these things and all, it's not the same. But like for me, when I was your age, I just thought it was really gay to wear earrings and definitely have your face pierced and shit like that and a nose ring. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, you would get relentlessly bullied for shit like that.
But also too, I think it's a cultural thing too, because I feel like that was like maybe here and like parts of Mexico, but also too, like, I mean, depending on like your culture, who your ancestors were and all that, it's like, dude, a lot of the fucking Aztecs and Mayans and just like native tribes, they all had piercings. So that's what I'm saying. I guess it really comes down to you and how you viewed it and shit.
I want to bring back bone nose. That's what I want to bring back. I was going
to say, plates in your lips and bone noses is also a traditional thing, but you wouldn't see me doing it.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I wouldn't do that shit either. I'm like,
when I grew up, the girls had real bushes. They didn't have tattoos. They didn't have fake boobs. The most they ever really
like a speed bump. Yeah, not a speed bump. It's more
I
like
appreciate nature and all its beauty.
Yeah. You'd go out with a girl or something like that, and the next thing you know, you look down there, and it would look like one of those Jewish guys that whatchamacallit hates. I mean, it was like, whoa, look at that thing.
Oh,
Oh man.
stank like a fucking bed.
weed whacker down there.
Uh.
But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. The first time I saw a bald one, I was like, I don't know about this. This looks like too young.
You feel like a
to be honest.
fucking creep looking at it. It's
yeah,
like, oh, like,
yeah.
Like,
I was like,
wow. What is this?
Yeah, because it went to, you went from full bush to.
I like
then
texture, you know?
You had like a landing strip, you had the landing
like to know if
strip,
I'm
and then
going
they
too
had,
far.
then they had the Adolf Hitler, and then they went bald, and now cock. So I don't know what to tell you.
The triangle's pretty cool. But, John,
Yes.
you got a wine for us, John. Like, what's been bothering you?
It's funny. I was complaining earlier about liberal white chicks. I am so tired of liberal white chicks telling me about, am I tired? Do I regret who I voted for? Do I regret what's going on here? No, I don't regret any of it. This guy in the office right now is doing exactly what I wanted him to do. Shut down the fucking border, get rid of the fucking criminals. He's basically doing everything I want him to do. I didn't like the tariffs, but guess what? The tariffs were going along, and now everything's calmed down. The market's going up, and they're still whining and crying like little tiny bitches. I can't stand it. Look, when what's his name, Creepy Sleepy Joe was in office, we didn't like it, but you know what we didn't do? We didn't get fucking signs and walk around like a bunch of Kansas City faggots. Every weekend. We didn't protest shit like that. We're like, okay, 4 years, we'll see what happens, and then we'll get him out of there.
And I mean, the only thing you guys had, which was just the "Let's Go Brandon" thing. I mean, that's
yeah. We had the "Let's Go Brandon" thing, which was a big deal. It was a "Let's Go Brandon" thing.
I'm also whatever.
I'm also tired of all this stuff. If you say anything, you're a racist or phobic or something. No, we're not. Again, just because you feel a certain way and we feel a certain way doesn't make us wrong or doesn't make them right. It's just one of those things. I mean, I just can't stand the whining and the crying, and how we're a cult, and then they describe themselves and then say that's us and that we're a cult. I'm like, bitch, look in a fucking mirror, write down what you said, and check it off on your own checklist. You're the exact same fucking thing. I don't want to hear it. So that's my wine.
Being called a cult, or John, are you sure it's just not like the sunken cost fallacy? Maybe you're just like, oh, hey, this is actually shitty, but you just don't want to look shitty, because I know boomers tend to not want to like say, yeah, I was wrong. So is this a boomerism, or do you strongly believe that?
No. I believe that you should be able to. Again, yes, you're allowed to go out and protest on something that you wanted to protest on, or whatever it is. I'm fine with that. The what I'm pissed off about is now they, because they don't like it. I saw a woman the other day. She was on, I don't know, one of the social medias, and she says, where are all the liberal men at? I said, they're in gay bars. That's where they're at. Where the fuck they're at.
Or raping women in a college campus is usually one of those.
Yeah, and something, ladies, you don't want one of those beta cuck guys anyhow. You don't want one of them. Real deep down, you want a man that's going to protect you, provide for you, take care of you. That's what you want, but you can't stand it because we have common sense and you don't. So that's my wine.
I don't want a man at all. You
don't want a man at all?
I just want to live free. I want to be me. I want to live in America where I don't have Venezuelans near me. That's the America I want,
Venezuelans.
What do I know?
I don't think I've seen any. Why did you leave New Jersey? I don't remember any Venezuelans being here in New Jersey.
Oh, they're there. They're there. They're infiltrating all the goddamn jobs. Like at least the construction jobs I was at, it went from Mexicans to like non-Mexicans, and then it was just Venezuelans and Guatemalans and just the undesirable South Americans. I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this shit. And on top of that too, it's like I left because of the fact that I already have reached my wage gap apparently, and a lot of places were like, yeah, we're not going to do that because you're not worth that much. I was like, yeah, but I could have your crews running. I could do X, Y, and Z. And I felt like I had reached my final goal, and I was just like, yeah, nah. And like Doug just said, it's expensive. Like I'm not like, it would surprise me that I would go to ShopRite, grab whatever I needed to make some sandwiches at home, the basic necessities, and I'd spend like $120. And then when I came to Texas, bought the same exact shit, I only spent $20. I'm like, that's $100 difference. I'm not
okay. Well, that is a big difference. But okay, so here's one thing that I've noticed is young white guys. They don't want to work anymore. When I say they don't want to work anymore, they don't want to do any kind of physical labor. Like nobody around here, kids today, or when I say kids today, young men around here today, they don't know how to do shit. They don't know how to build a shed. They don't know how to wire a fucking circuit. They don't know how to run a piece of pipe. I mean, to me, it's ridiculous. And, you know, they said, oh, we can't find a house. Yeah, you know why? Because you guys want a house that's move-in condition. That's not the way it works. When you're first young kid, you go find a piece of shit beater, you know, and you tear it down to the studs and you go through the whole thing. You change the wiring, you change the plumbing, you put in a new kitchen and a new bathroom, you sheetrock a thing, you sand the floors, you put rugs in and all, and then you have yourself a house. You tear the roof off, you put a new roof on. I mean, kids today, when I say kids, young men, they don't know how to do that shit anymore. And that drives me crazy.
But I mean, also too, people. I mean, that's the thing, like, because I see. I mean, at least here, I see a bunch of young fucking kids at the job sites and shit, and you know they're there, but I guess because I would listen to 101.5 and fucking Bill Spadia would always be talking his nonsense, and then he was like, you know, a lot of blue collar workers, they're leaving New Jersey because they're saying that it's not acceptable for them to do this and do that, which is true. Because like in New Jersey, you'll be an electrician at a mom and pop shop or an open house company, and some companies, the most they'll want to pay you is like $24 an hour, 26 or 28. But it's like, dude, you're doing that job, right? But then you have someone else working at a clothing store for women, and they're getting paid fucking 28 an hour. So why the fuck would you be an electrician in New Jersey, knowing that you're getting paid as much, or if not the same amount as a fucking McDonald's manager, when you're actually doing fucking physical work and you're getting fucked over? And then you see other states, right, where you're an electrician or an apprentice or a journeyman, a master, right, whatever level you're at, and they're getting paid like fucking 30 plus an hour. Yet in Jersey, you're getting paid the same amount that a fucker from Wawa makes. It's like, how does that make sense? So I don't know. Just to me, it wasn't worth staying there no more. I was just like, nah, I'm over this shit. I was like,
no, but
cool.
I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is now, like, nobody knows how to build. No one knows how to frame anything. No one knows how to put a window in. No one knows how to, you know, put a roof on. I mean, this is shit we used to do. Your buddy's house, he's got a roof leak. Okay, Saturday and Sunday we're going over to so-and-so's house. We're going to go put a roof on. So you go, you get the shovels with the notches in it. You get up there early in the morning. You're knocking all the stuff off the roof. You get the tar paper up. You get that on, and you guys start roofing it. By Sunday night, the house got a new roof on it. You can't get people that are in their 20s to do that shit anymore. They just don't know how to do it. And roofing's got to be the easiest fucking thing to do now. Even back then, we used to carry the shingles up on a ladder. Now they bring a boom in, and they bring them up with a boom, and you just grab them off the pallet.
You know, you bring up a good point. I wonder how long is IKEA going to stay in business? Because the whole thing about IKEA is, you know, putting together the furniture yourself. And if these young people don't know how to do it, what exactly happens there? You know, would IKEA just go out of business because people aren't going to be putting the shit together?
They can do that, but that's about the
well,
most.
No, not even that.
Do.
Like, I've watched so many people just fail putting together IKEA things. Hell, I fail putting together IKEA things. Well, partially. Like one screw. Like I fuck up one screw, and like it's just slightly fucked up.
I just put together this week alone. I put together an office chair. I put together another desk. I put together. I have two desks. I have a table and a nightstand. I put that all together. I'm not going to say it's sometimes these directions are stupid. You got to really pay attention because you get the thing together and you go, shit, this is upside down. So then you got to take it all back and take it apart. You got to pay attention. But I mean, a monkey can figure out how to put something together for my kid. They even give you the fucking wrench to do it with. That's what cracks me up. Like, no one even has tools anymore. If they send something to build, it's got to come with the wrenches because nobody even has a set of tools anymore. And then you got guys like Tom in here because he doesn't like the fact that he can't do what I'm talking about. So then he's a computer guy, says, oh, John doesn't even know what port a UFBP goes into. No, I don't, because I'm not gay. All right? Who gives a shit? But I can fucking roof house and plan out a wall, a stud a wall, and I can hang sheetrock. I can't tape it, though. That's one thing I'm not good at is taping. But besides that,
yeah.
I think, but also too, I think right now we're experiencing a thing in America too, where it's like a lot of people are starting to realize that fucking going to college and wasting thousands and thousands on money just have a fucking a goddamn what's it called? I'm fucking blank.
Just a degree.
Well, a degree, but like let's say you get that degree right for the job that you wanted, where they quote unquote required a degree. A lot of jobs don't even fucking care about the degree anymore. They just care if you know how to do the job. And it's like anything. It's like, oh, you have to have fucking 10 years of experience to be able to get the job. And it's like, well, how am I going to get the job if I don't have any fucking experience, right? But also, too, there has been this new thing emerging within like younger kids, like even younger than me, like fucking like 20-year-olds and shit, where like now a lot of them, they're not going into fucking colleges and universities. They're actually going back to trade schools because they're like, okay, I pay this much for trade school. I get certified. I build a career. And now I have to fucking be in debt to a college for the rest of my life, or half of my fucking life. Like that's the cool thing about it. It's like, no matter what happens, everything always reverts back to zero, and we go through the same cycles. It's always a fucking thing that just cycles on. So it's like, yeah, a lot of people nowadays are fucking stupid. They don't know what they're doing. I seen a fucking grown ass man not know how to change a tire. I was like, dude, you're such a fucking loser. Like you don't know how to change a tire. You're like, what the fuck's wrong with you? But also
I told my daughters, when my daughters started to drive, I made sure that they knew how to change a tire. Like, in other words, that's what they had. I took them outside, said, okay, get the jack out. I'm going to show you how to change a tire. I need you to know, if someone's around, you got to know how to change a flat tire. So I did that. But so when I got into the elevator business, the one thing I loved about it, the elevator business, you did everything. You ran pipe for electric. You made a run, you could make bends, and then you could also weld. And then you also knew how to, do carpentry, and you knew how to wire circuits and all. So that was one thing I loved about that. Same thing with HVAC. That's one thing I've never really gotten into. And, I had to send a mini split air conditioner back the other day because I put my tail between my legs. Because listen, guys, I'm basically a cripple right now, so I can't do that shit anymore. I called a guy out to give me a price for this. And I'm looking, I said, okay, we got to hang some brackets, run a line, put a on-off switch, a disconnect switch out here outside. And so I'm looking at this thing. I said, okay, if I was, 40 years old, I'd have this thing done in a day. The guy comes out and he gives me a price for $3,800. I'm like, $3,800? What are you, out of your fucking mind? American? What are we talking here? Am I talking about yen? It's $3,800. I sent the fucking thing back. But that's the only thing that bothers me now is I'm just too crippled to do the work that I used to be able to do.
I'm just living the dream. That's it. I'm living the American dream until they deport me, and that's it. I ain't gonna care. I'm not gonna care, to be honest. I'm just like, you know what? Keep this America. This isn't the America that I wanted. Fuck, I'm gonna go to China. Be a slave.
You're gonna go to China?
Hell yeah.
Jerry, I am sad that you missed out on the American dream, this opportunity. And I kind of want to get into my wine. I'm not too sure how to go about this because, you got a boomer here, John, and I think I want to insult your kind a bit, the boomer kind. I'm going to insult one of the platitudes that was always told to me as a young man is, you shouldn't miss out on opportunities. And my wine is the fear of missing opportunity, because it was grained into me. You have to say yes to this. Something good will come, or just do it, because you don't know where it might take you. Like John, you don't know where this podcast will take you. This will probably get you banned off Twitch right now. But fucking so this all entails something. But let me tell you guys a story. I remember when I was a young lad, a young handsome boy, and I knew how to play the drums a bit. And then I was told, "Hey, man," well, it was one of my buddies. "Hey, you wanna come and join me in do a band?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know, dude. I'm not really that dedicated, and I don't want to do it." No, do it. And then I remember I talked to some old boomer. He's like, "No, you're really good, dude. Do it. See where it goes. You will go somewhere with it." Well, I'm here. I don't got a band. So I remember working 12, 14-hour days, just tired as shit, then still having to go to practice. And then there was so many problems with the band members not showing up and all that shit. And the only thing I really wanted out of this, really, because I was like, well, I'm never going to be a big star. But you know what? I know I could get pussy.
Yeah,
I haven't seen a sliver of slit out of a whole year and being a fucking band. What I had to do was, well, you're gonna say maybe I did get it, but what I had to do is I had to post these fuckboy pictures with me on my drum set making a gay little fucking face all the time. But I was promised, you could get pussy because, you're a drummer. And I did, granted, outside the bands. I would go up, not even like one fucking fag has hit on me once after performing. It sucked, and it was a waste of time. And unfortunately, you kind of do have to take... Because you kind of are told, oh, you have to take this. You don't know where it will go. Like, have you guys had this too, where you guys were told, take this is a great opportunity. It will get you something or anything.
Okay, so hold on. First of all, you were in a band to get pussy. I get that. All right. The fact that you can't get pussy as being in a band, shame on you. All right. Like I said, when I was in college and I was doing college radio, if you were just a DJ and you had any kind of game whatsoever, you could talk to a woman at all.
But I got women without the band thing. Like, I could have just talked to them anyways without the drummer.
If you got it without the band, and what the hell? And again, here we go.
I'm gonna drown.
If you didn't care about you weren't a drummer. You were just playing drums to get tail. That's the problem. I mean, if you really wanted to be a drummer, you would have been a drummer. So you didn't do it. You went into it half-assed. So you half-assed something, and you didn't get anything out of it. Boo-hoo. No,
I tried. I tried to learn it. I got pretty good. And the worst part was I was writing songs and all that stuff. I was doing things. And then turned out like everyone was like, a bunch of fucking nerds who weren't dedicated to it. Then I wasted my time for a whole year. So that was great.
So then you go and you find another band. Look.
No, because then it's like, oh, well, we'll just keep going. No, fuck that. Move the fuck on. Make a shitty podcast.
Ringo Starr married a Bond girl. Married a James Bond girl. I mean, that was Ringo Starr. So,
but he was a Beatle. Like, I mean, no one wanted to fuck Ringo. That's the only Beatle they could pull. Let's get real.
I'm just telling you, guys in bands got tail. That's a fact. If you couldn't get, the same thing with people on the radio. If you were on the radio and you could get tail, I don't know, shame on you. I'm sorry. But I don't know. So, okay. Aren't you engaged or something now?
Well, yes. But, okay, so this leads into what I'm talking about. Because the fear of missing out or missed opportunities. Because, you have to take shit opportunities because you don't know where you're going with it. That's why I'm talking about it. I'm not trying to advocate for the pussy. But, you kind of have to do it because it's like, well, you got to see where it goes. Take it. You don't never know. So, John, if you would click on my article that I sent you. Sorry, I couldn't remember exactly what I named it. It's the Disneyland one.
Okay. I have that here, but what am I going to do with it? Because you can't see it.
Well, I would say bring that up so you can read it.
Okay.
All right. So, for those who don't know, I'll read this here. Man arrested after attempting to marry a 9-year-old.
Oh!
A man attempted to marry a 9-year-old girl at Disneyland, and roughly 100 wedding guests in attendance were hired actors. People and the Sunday Times reported. The 22-year-old... what's up?
I was going to say, first of all, they should have thrown a fucking net over everybody. There's a 9-year-old there to get married, and there's 100 wedding guests, and they're in attendance, and they didn't take that girl and run away with her and get her away from this guy? I mean, what the fuck are we talking about here? First of all, is he a Muslim? I mean, he says he's a 22-year-old British man. I find this hard to believe. But go ahead.
So you're probably wondering, how does the fear of missed opportunity tie in? It's like, what, he missed opportunity to marry a kid? No. What I'm getting into is the poor actors. Because when you're a young actor, you kind of have to take any role. And these guys were sitting there. And someone was like, oh, dude, take this role, dude. Like, get it on your resume, dude. See where it leads. It could be something interesting. And then you, young aspiring actor, is like, oh, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity because my old boomer grandpa said, you got to take this opportunity.
To marry a 9-year-old?
No, the actors were a bunch of actors were paid to be the audience of the wedding.
Oh.
He paid over almost up to $150,000 to hire actors to perform in his wedding. That was real.
Oh, okay. All right. So what happened then was like they're sitting there and they're waiting for the violin starts. And then all of a sudden this child comes out in a wedding dress. And the people at Disneyland said, wait a minute. She looks a little alarmingly young. Authorities were then notified, which led to officials discovering that the wedding guests were hired actors. 4 people were arrested, including the groom, the child's 41-year-old Ukraine mother, and 2 Latvian nationals aged 24 and 55. After the medical examination of the 9-year-old showed that the girl was unharmed. So in other words, she's still intact. Jesus Christ.
They didn't make it to the honeymoon, unfortunately. So.
Oh my God.
I wonder how they would have acted in that scene. So,
I mean, how dumb can you be? You're going to marry a 9-year-old girl and you go and try to do this at Disneyland? What the I mean, Jesus.
Where else would you marry a 9-year-old?
I don't know. Again, I don't know. I don't know one person.
The Elvis place in fucking Las Vegas,
somebody's backyard with some kind of person that got their reverend's license, on the back of a fucking magazine. I don't know. Maybe they did that way. First of all, a 9-year-old. I want to see a picture of this British man. I guarantee you, he's a Muslim.
But this brings me to my point. Back in the day when they had Shirley Temple, that little girl actress and shit, they wrote articles about her saying how she was the most sexy being in Hollywood. So even back then, motherfuckers were creepy as fuck. They were saying, "Oh yeah, the way she looks at you makes you feel something special." I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Like, you motherfuckers were weird. They were just weird back then. They're maybe he got inspired by that. Maybe this was his Shirley Temple.
No, this is just debauchery is what this is. This is pedophilia at its finest. I mean, God forbid.
Love is
Thank
love.
God. Thank God for the Disneyland staff that noticed that, whoa, look at this girl.
And the worst part is because, you're probably an actor and you're just told like, oh, you're supposed to be here. And it's like, oh, it's probably like some stupid little comedy until he starts slipping the tongue and you may now kiss the bride. Then they're probably like, oh, wait, hold on. What kind of movie is this?
But what if she used Korean skincare? That's why she looks so young. We can't just assume things. That's what I'm saying.
Well, no, it's there. It's fact. It was 9.
No. I'm saying if you're an actor right there, you can't assume anything. You're like, oh, well, what if she has a medical condition? That makes her look young.
Like that one little fucked up girl that
there was that one girl had cancer and they did some kind of operation. They took out her thyroid or whatever, and she still looks like she's like 10 years old, but she's in her mid-20s. And whenever she goes out somewhere, she looks like it. And she's trying to date this one guy. And every time somebody sees them together, they want to try to pull them apart. She started smoking cigarettes and it looks so weird. It looks like a 10-year-old smoking. I feel horrible for her. But I mean, to be honest with you, that girl could make $1 Brazilian if she just went and did porn.
Oh,
see what I'm saying?
but okay, so let's ask this moral, ethical question. If you have someone like that making porn, are you a fucking creep for looking at it? Because technically,
yes. Absolutely, but it's still legal.
Yeah,
but it's legal.
But it's legal though, because she's 18, 20, 18, whatever the fuck the age is, right?
Right.
If you have a medical condition that keeps you in a little girl body, so it's like
correct.
Technically, you are fucking you're the legal age limit, right? But like morally, you're like, but you're a little girl, but legally you're not, So where would that land?
Well, you're a fucking creep. Like same thing with like anime. Like the anime. It's like, oh, okay, it's fake, sure, but you still want to jerk off to the idea, and it's not like this girl personally. It's like, oh, I wanted to jerk off to her personality. Like unless they do that interview in the beginning and she tries to sell you. She's like, oh, hey, before you click that button, hear me out. I have my master's and then your dick's hard. Like, no, you were already clicked on because you saw something that looked like a little fucking creature.
Right. No, I get it. But I'm just saying that girl could have made a ton of money if she would have went into OnlyFans. She would have made a ton of money. Every one of those people that were subscribed to her should have been arrested, but it's legal, so I don't know what to tell you.
She could have been like a good like honeypot like investigator or something, just like lure all the retards.
God, yes, she could have made. Well, she would have made as much money as she made on OnlyFans and porn, but
you could also be an American hero on top of that.
Absolutely.
No, because then they would. I was gonna get you. Then they would all go to Israel.
Well, then.
Those motherfuckers, I hate them.
And we're back to
It runs deep in me. I
But
can't
yes, the
because
fear
everything
of missing
relates to them. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I get.
Yeah, because I mean, missed opportunity. Because like, if you're an actor, you're just like, oh fuck it, dude, I'll take any shit role. Like, there's so many great actors who had to take fucking roles that are just dog shit or you've never heard of. So maybe he thought he was gonna be the next like Leonardo or something, and then ended up on this. And now that's on your record. Now, hey, what was the most famous thing you acted in? Oh yeah, I helped marry a fucking 9-year-old and some guy.
It's like Tony and Tina's wedding. You know, you're sitting there and you think you're watching some kind of show, and then, oof, I don't know. I'm telling you, there's just a bunch of shit. I mean, it's the same thing with women that, you know, end up fucking around with young boys. I tease, I tease, I say, you know, it's not really the same. And
fuck it.
see, exactly. Jerry's like, yeah, right.
Damn right, that's a passage of right. Hell yeah, shit, that's different. If you a little man and you get raped, I mean, I don't know.
No,
all right, Jerry, hang on.
Man.
What's the youngest you think? Like 16?
No, I was thinking way younger and shit.
How much younger?
9 years old at Disneyland? Is that what you're thinking?
I'm just saying, Lil Wayne got ass at 6 years old. So if he could do it and he's successful,
does he even know what ass was at 6 years old?
Yeah,
he was 6 years old.
Yeah, he was getting ass. I said, hell yeah, that's a dog right there. Hell yeah, shit. I represent.
I think that's a case, not a dog.
Nah, bro,
Jesus
he a dog.
Christ.
He a puppy in learning. You know what I mean? And then he became a big dog. Hell yeah, you know. Nah, it's kind of weird though. Like, yeah, it is like a weird double standard where it's like, yeah, if you see a grown man with a little girl, you're like, hey, you fucking creep. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know. But if you see a woman with a little dude, you're like, nothing's going on. You know what I mean? Like, well, where do we draw the line? I guess because we're men and we're like, you can fight back. You know,
there's stories every day. There's stories every day about this going on. Here's one right now from Rockwell, Texas. A mother who was just found guilty of making sexual contact with a 13-year-old friend of her son has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. Real estate agent Natalie Sorrells, 44 years old, had multiple instances of inappropriate contact with a child since April of 23, according to police. The 13-year-old, in an interview, described 2 incidents where Sorrells touched him inappropriately. And he said they described having sexual contact with her in her car when she picked him up from a football game, and another time at her son's party.
But see, I don't know. I feel like you're low key a little fucking fag if you go to the news talking about, oh yeah, my fucking homeboy's mom touched me. I'd have been talking shit like, nigga, that's why I'm fucking your mom. Like,
but no, because if like you're trying to blackmail her and she doesn't know, then fuck you, bitch. I'm taking you to jail.
Hold on, you're both wrong. Here's what happened. The kid's mother found deleted text between him and the victim where she was calling him babe, and once she found the text, the next thing you know, they turned it over to police. The police subpoenaed the phone records, and then, you know, they get the kid, sit him down and say, all right, you got to tell us what happened. So yep, she's also required to pay a $10,000 fine. She's going to be in jail for 5 years. So
you know what? I feel bad for that little fucker. Like, honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I think this is wrong, and I wish I could switch places with him, because you know what? No one deserves to go through that. Like me, I'm okay with that. You know, like I will take the molesting for him. You know that. Like that was another thing too. It's funny because I tell you something, because you know this. You always hear stories about this, like some fucking mother or like some like friend of a mother fucked somebody. Here's the thing though, like my mother, she was a fucking drug addict, fucking alcoholic fiend, and you would think like, oh man, you must have been diddled. No, I was not diddled by it, and she didn't have no attractive friends. They were all dudes, and they didn't want to fuck me. They didn't want to even lick my balls. I was never even propositioned once by any kind of fiend of any kind to flick my nuts or anything. Like, as much as, like, I feel like I'm a little jealous, but you know what? Not really that. No, I want to switch places with them. Like, I wish I had the superpower to switch bodies of a 13-year-old boy who's getting some ass.
Listen, look at the screen right now. Because he doesn't
deserve to go through that.
Look at the screen right now. That's the 44-year-old. She ain't bad.
I mean, he's 44 years old. I mean, oh, look at her fucking big jar head. Jesus Christ.
what was the kid?
It's like pot of greed.
Did they show the kid?
They never show you the kid.
Well,
They
I mean,
never
I
show you
don't
the
care what
kid.
he looks like. He probably has the biggest smile in the world. Who cares? You know?
I'm just saying, she ain't bad looking. You know something? You don't deserve. You know what? You don't deserve a hot young, a hot older woman.
I do.
Because you're too picky. You're too damn picky.
Yeah, I know, because I'm older now. But if I was a young little guy, like, dude, like, I used to jerk off to porn as a wee lad to whatever I found. Like, I used to jerk off to Asian porn. I don't like that shit. Like, that's just what I had at the time.
Okay. Oh, so you're more refined now with your pornography.
Yes, like, I refine my taste. I'm older. I have perspective. Like, because, you know, when you're a young guy, you're just fucking your pillow anyway. So, like, yeah, someone's crumpled up mom looks fucking amazing. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
You're telling me as a wee lad, you wouldn't, if like some random lady was like, hey, let me.
Listen,
Yeah?
I've been on record. There's plenty of times when I was in, freshman in high school, sophomore in high school, we had smoking hot teachers, and you definitely had fantasies about them. So I understand this shit. I mean, if I had a chance to do what they were doing with one of those teachers, I would have took it in a heartbeat. Just telling you.
You know, I was disappointed. There was a teacher in my school who I wanted to fucking fuck, and apparently, like, as I got older, apparently she got arrested for fucking some, like, fat kid, and I was like, God damn, I was in shame!
Yeah, see, what the problem was, the fat kid, he had game. He knew how to talk to her.
He probably got A's like a fucking nerd. I was failing that class.
You thought that, you were all hot and shit, and you didn't know how to talk to her, and you know what? She walked right over you and went right over to the fat kid.
What's talking to her? Hi, yeah, my parents won't be showing at the parent-teacher conference, and I won't call the cops.
No, this is the problem. See, you have no game. That's the problem. The kid probably started talking to her, asked her about herself, and she liked him, and he was funny. Fat kids got to work for it. They got to be funny. They got to be entertaining. You guys, you think you're just all hot. You walk up, and the girl's supposed to just drop her panties. That's not how it fucking works, man. I'm just telling you that right now.
Yes, it does. No. Yes, it does. If you really want to get ass, that's how it will.
Yeah,
work.
if you want some fucking dumpster whore.
No. You look. Remember. We as men are the apex predators of a parking lot. If you want it that bad, you will get it. Just understand.
Now you're talking. What are you talking? Rape? What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, I'm just saying. We're all predators. We're all predators.
Jesus Christ!
Wait,
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not talking. Jerry, I'm not talking about forcing myself on a woman.
Others go for big lambs. Others go
the hell's
for
wrong with you?
Someone wants to take down the giant buffalo like me.
Jesus Christ! He's a Jew-hating rapist over here.
Hey,
Jesus Christ!
Not me.
No, but John, you're onto something here, though, John.
I'm not.
Because you know what? You're right. Because dude, when I was a fucking little guy, a young lad, I had no game. Like, I was a fucking little retard. I used to fucking make gay poetry for girls. I used to be nice to them and say nice things to them. And I learned that didn't work. And it's funny enough is, like, by the time I hit, like, 16 and 17, I just started being an asshole to all of them. And then fucking I was rolling. And I was like, oh, shit, this is the move.
I can hear Mike now. Roses are red, violets are poo. Can I stick my wee-wee where you go poo?
Yeah, dude.
No?
Like, I was a fucking cornball, dude. I did so much fucking lame shit, dude. Like, I remember this. It was this girl's birthday. I stole a fucking, like, a toy that she wanted. I was like fucking, like, probably 10 years old. I went to go steal, like, some shitty little, like, Barbie for her and bring it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. You're still weird though. Why'd you get this? I was like, oh man.
She's like, how you find out it's my birthday? Who told you?
It's on the board, you bitch. It's on the.
Yeah, no, it's weird. I ain't gonna lie though. I had this one teacher in math class. Her name was Mrs. D. She was this fucking Italian lady. And when I tell you, she had the fattest ass on her. Like, she had the fattest ass on her. And she would always, like, talk to you in a demeaning way. But it was like, I like this shit. Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. But she was fucking one of the black kids from the fucking football team. And I was like, man, what the fuck? And that's when I fucking felt my what's it called?
Your dick
my friend. No, my friend's ancestors. I said, that's why they had trees around all the time, huh? You know what I mean? I was just like, bro, what the fuck? But yeah, apparently, well, no one knows if this is true. No one actually can confirm it. Obviously, no one's gonna say none. But apparently, the football player was fucking clapping her cheeks and shit. Apparently, and the only reason why I said that they was kind of known, but it wasn't, is because a lot of the a lot of the fucking teachers for the gym periods, they're all fucking creeps. Like one of them is his brother's a cop from a big municipality in New Jersey, right? And he was such a fucking weirdo that he would pull up in his motorcycle to every single girl's class or every single girl's house that he was going to have the year of. And he would pull in a motorcycle saying like, oh, hey, I just came to say I'm going to be your gym teacher. And I got this motorcycle. If you want to take a ride with me, I'll take you anywhere. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, this motherfucker was a creep. But again, nothing ever got done to him because his fucking brother was, again, a big boy in the municipality. So, he wouldn't be touched type shit. But I was just like, fuck, man.
Well, I mean, if you're a map, then, being a teacher is a really target-rich environment, to be quite honest with you.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's they're just like easy pickings type shit, And again, it's weird because it's like we don't have fucking screenings for this type of shit. It's like you should definitely have at least once every year, be subjected to testing to see if like you are attracted to minors, knowing that you're a grown ass person.
How do you do that? Wait a minute.
What do you mean? How do you do that?
How do you do that? How do you find out if you're attracted to minors?
Well, you ask them questions. You're like, hey, dude, do you like little kids?
You have them naked and have their cock out, and if
any
little jiggle or any little wiggle, well, you describe something.
Oh, it just bumped. It just moved.
Hey, you're fired. That's it.
It's like hooking up a lie detector test to their cock.
You wouldn't have any teachers. All right, so I guess what we're doing from now on is we're going to have boys' schools and girls' schools, and we don't mix them anymore. Like
no, that's even worse. No, because that's worse. Because then little boys get raped by the big shark of the lake, and you don't want that. Like, yeah, have them mix, cool, but at least have a test at the beginning of the year, right? Because so this is the thing, which is it's weird because a lot of the times the detectives that fucking work to close down CP and all this bullshit, right? Those same detectives end up becoming weird, or they themselves are fucking weirdos that they take that evidence for themselves. And it's come out plenty of times where it's like, yo, the dude that's going through this fucked up shit is low key putting it on the side for him. That's fucked up, right? So what they should do, and what they are doing now, is they're having AI go through all that shit like that. No one gets affected and say, okay, well, if there was CP, no one has to fucking look at it. You know what I mean? Because it's fucked up, right? And it's like Mike said, I think what should happen, right, is we should strip down the teachers and we should fucking put things on their goddamn like those little neural caps and shit. And it's like as soon as you get a jolt of fucking ecstasy or dopamine, right?
Could you pass that test?
Who, me? Fuck yeah. I pass it in flying colors.
You take a 17-year-old girl. A very attractive 17-year-old girl, and then and you show a picture, and you don't think your junk's going to do a little wiggle, a little jiggle?
No, I wouldn't.
No,
I only say that for the main reason because like you're putting a girl in front of me. What the fuck is that going to do for me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but a guy maybe sure, but a girl like, hey, bro, you fucking with the wrong person.
I didn't know you swung that way.
No, I don't. But to pass that test, I'll fucking force myself. Like, don't fucking think of it. You gotta train your body. You gotta
don't think of it. Don't think of it.
Yeah. And if anything, you're fucked because you're like, dude, it's not that. I'll let because what if you're just gay and they're doing the fucking test on you, and like one of the goddamn the dudes that are doing the test on he has like these nice fucking massive tree trunk arms with veins sticking out with a little bit of hair that looks just right. And you're like, damn, imagine he pounded my ass, right? And then you get hard off for that. But then they put the fucking picture and you're like, fuck, like you're fucked, because it's like bad timing type shit, But
Bob has a good idea. Bob says, hook them to a brain scanner, put on an old episode of Barney. If the sex part of the brain has activity, not hired. All right, I'll go with that.
Or we could do it like they do in the military, because don't they also give them pills so they don't get their cocks hard and stuff? Like, they have to eat the diet of not getting your dick hard.
Yeah, I forget what they call it. I think it's like saltpeter, I think. Something like
All
that.
I'm saying is we should test everyone, right, and see if their
Mhm.
wieners or their clitorises thump or anything gets felt, you know, because
Exactly.
you have to know that you don't have fucking little kids around the predators of the ocean, you know, because it's fucked up, you know what I mean? And also, too, one thing that I genuinely do believe should be a law and it should be fucking in every school. I think that every single school and every single teacher should know how to fucking fire a goddamn gun. Yeah, I should at least be trained with firearm safety and all that bullshit. Because I never understood, and I don't agree with the fact that they fucking expect people to be in an active school shooter situation, right? Which, you know, thankfully it's not as common anymore, you know. But they expect you to just to sit in a fucking classroom and hope for the best. You know what I mean? And it's
No,
like, no,
I agree with that too.
yeah, had every teacher been able to at least have some type of fucking handgun or a shotgun, and they actually have training, like they have real training in case some shit like this happens, and the dumb fucker walks into the classroom, he breaks in. At least the teacher has some type of defense to be like, nah, it ain't going down like that. You know what I mean? At least, but it's like we live in such a society where it's like, no, we can't do that. But what we can do is sell you a book bag that's a fucking shield for your kid. It's like, well, why the fuck does it have to come to that? Why does a little school of little nigglets have to get mowed down for something to be done? It's like, no, fucking let the teachers have guns in their goddamn classrooms and fucking protect the kids, you know? But
Some schools,
I don't
some,
like that.
why?
Of course you don't, because you're a
Because
faggot.
first of all, we're talking about the teachers being pedophiles here. They're gonna give them a gun. They're like, oh hey, you know, if you don't do what I
Again,
say, you're gonna get fucking
see,
blasted in your head.
This is the problem we have. Is because as soon as you say you give you don't give every teacher a gun. You find the people that can handle it, that are hunters, that have been in the military, that are teachers, and you train them, and then they go through training and safety training and a psychological background, and then they can have a gun. They can run to the first responders. By the time you call the cops, by the time the cops get there, the amount of damage that can be done and the amount of kids that can be killed is astronomical. And then you had that thing down there in Texas where that one guy went in and the cops didn't want to go in. He was in the classroom with a gun shooting, and they were all outside. They were afraid to go in.
Yeah, I still think that whole case is bullshit because the cops could have easily went inside and they were saying that they were waiting for the door to get opened when all they had to do was fucking pull the door, not push it, pull it. I'm like, dude, you guys are such fucking pussies. Like again, everyone wants to sit here and support the blue and all this bullshit. It's like, yeah, I get it. Sure, some
I'd
cops
have
are cool,
fired every one of
right?
them.
But it's like, dude, when you have a fucking whole department with incompetent assholes that don't want to go inside because they're like, well, I don't want to get shot. It's like, motherfucker, kids are dying. What the fuck are you doing? You swore an oath to protect and serve your community, and here you are being a bullshitter. It's like even there were parents that were fucking running in there just to get their kids out, and it's like, dude, it was a random fucking standby person at that took out his gun, ran in there, and he's like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna kill him, right? And that's the whole thing too. Because me and Kev had these conversations about shooters and fucking people that do all this bullshit, right? And it's like you and me and Mike have said this too. If you really want to go shoot some shit and be a school shooter and be fucking this, that, and the fourth, right? Instead of going to a place where you know damn well no one's going to have a fucking gun and no one's going to be able to defend themselves, nigga, drive to the motherfucking closest bullshit ass neighborhood you could think of and start shooting that bitch up. And I guarantee you someone's going to shoot you right the fuck back, right? But every single time there's a school shooting, there's a fucking public shooting, a public massacre and all this bullshit, right? It's always in places where people can't defend themselves. And it's like, dude, like people don't like this, and there's fucking all these little stupid fucking laws and shit that, oh, you can't walk in here with a gun and all this shit. But it's like, dude, I'm not taking my chances going to Kroger's to buy some fucking milk that I need for my fucking little cakes, right? And just to have some asshole behind me start shooting that bitch up. And I'm like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? Like, fuck no. You know what I mean? Like, I always had the Yam Spliff on me all the time. And it ain't so much because I want to fucking cause damage to someone. It's like, no, but you genuinely don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. Like, even me, I like going to the movie theaters. I enjoy it. I think it's such a fucking badass thing. I think like to truly enjoy a movie, you should go to the theater because it truly is an experience. You know, you could be there, you could fucking feel everything. You feel the vibrations of the music. It's just an experience, right? But every single time I go to the movie theater, I look at every single person that walks in and I'm like, this motherfucker looks suspicious. This dude's by himself with a fucking coat. Like, fuck no, you know what I mean? Like, you have to constantly look at that shit. And I'm like, dude, the fact that this is a normal America, like, this isn't it, bro. Because again, I was in the movie theater in Howell, the Escape Theater, and apparently one of their fucking disgruntled employees got so mad because he was working there, what the fuck have you, and he pulled out a fucking young spliffer, and he had like 2 fucking grenades and shit. He's gonna light that bitch up. The only reason that it got stopped is because one of his coworkers saw the fucking gun in his backpack, and they called the cops. But mind you, had no one seen that, there would have been a fucking shooting in Howell over some fucking stupid fucking dude. You know what I mean?
I get it. Okay, so Tom's sitting there and says you can't have guns in school until you get out the gay community. And again, dumb. That's a dumb statement, Tom. You're supposed to be smart, but you're dumb.
Okay, so I got this. Well, I was thinking because Jerry's saying like everyone should be armed at all times because you never know when shit's gonna pop off all the time. And I think the teachers having guns is not the quiet idea because they're pedophiles and they have the guns. So hear me out. What if we arm all the kids with Dillingers? With Dillingers because it's a single shot. Because at least they'll have a chance, and also it's like a deterrence. And think about this: these kids, they can have like a Wild West moment. Instead of a school fight, they literally fucking like have a standoff with each other, and like they fucking Wild West style each other.
Jesus Christ! I thought Tom was dumb. First of all, what you do is you teach these kids how to fist fight. Okay, that's what you do. You teach them how to fist fight.
Punch the bullets out of the air.
No, dummy. What I'm saying is that this is why kids take guns into schools is because they've been bullied and they have no way of being unbullied. So they figure the only way to do it is to go, or they've had enough of it. They're just going to go in there and kill somebody. We never even thought about you would bring a gun into school or whatever. But I'm just telling you right now is you have to have somebody that can go immediately to the situation if there's some kind of mass shooting. And you can't give it to the kids. And what you do is you have to have, and I don't care if you put a police officer in there. I really don't care. But you also have got to lock down the places. And then you've also got to make it where, they can lock the doors and shut the windows so people can't see in. And you take the targets away from the shooters. And again, look, I'm a high school educated dummy. I'm sure if I went into a school and looked around, I could find a way to make the school safe from school shootings. Where it would be limited, any kind of limited, loss of life or injuries. If somebody's going to give their life up for something, there's not much you can do about it. There was that one school shooter that was in Tennessee, and she came in and she started shooting, and the cops came right away. They ran in, and they took her out within about 5 or so minutes, but she still killed 6 or 7 kids. It's unfortunate. I don't know. Again, people are evil and people are crazy. And when you got crazy and evil together, there's not much you can do about it. I guess in a way, when it's your time, it's your time. But giving kids guns, I don't care if
why
you
not? Because kids should know about gun safety anyways, and you can teach them at a young age.
That's fine. Use
your little Dillinger if someone wants to touch your little Dillinger.
No, I don't have a problem having teaching kids gun safety. Matter of fact, I would do it. I would start them at age 10. With gun safety. I would definitely do that. But you don't give them guns in school. You dumb.
Without the proper training. You said to yourself,
I don't even want them to have phones.
You know
what? You want
to
give them guns.
We should have in every school, right? Mm-hmm. Six of those little robots, the little dog robots, the ones that look creepy and shit, with a fucking AR, right? And they should just know, no, for real, give kids a little badge, and if they see you without a badge, they're allowed to light you the fuck up. You know what I mean? Everyone has to have a badge, like a biometric badge type. You know what I mean? Like that. When you walk in, the little robot scans you like beep whoop, and it's like, okay, you belong here, beep whoop, right? And they're always walking around the school, just, right? Okay. And then as soon as someone breaks in, they're like intruder, and they just light a fucking a goddamn MP45, just boom, and we say
but usually the school shooters are the kids who belong in the school, though. It's not like some random guy jumping over the fence and shooting it.
Oh yeah, you're right, huh?
So that doesn't solve anything. The school shooter would just take the kids' badges or something and just get them shoot up the school.
All right, I feel like we're getting dumber here.
Right. Really? Welcome to the Fine Whining Podcast. Okay, so I got another idea I'll run by you. Because who is the most passionate? I know this is kind of fucked up, but who is the most passionate about kids entirely?
pedophiles.
Yes. So why don't we have like a gunslinger one? Because he will like maybe we have to like throw him occasionally the retarded kid, but he will make sure no one hurts those little kids.
Because that's his batch
Except
of
him?
crop.
Exactly. Well, like so you gotta throw one to the shark eventually, I guess. But if he is like good, you know, because like that's who gives a shit about the kid or something. I think.
Quite literally, yeah. So you have to, you know, have some potatoes fall on the ground for him to save the whole.
Like
batch.
think of Blade Runner. Fucking you know, Deckard was a replicant himself, and he hunted down replicants.
I don't even know what to I don't even know what to say about this, to be honest with you.
No, I mean, no, like, look here, you making sense. I ain't gonna lie, because
He's making sense.
The fucking pedophile wouldn't want someone to fucking go kill his victims because he wants them to be their victims, you know? So he's like, you're not taking mine away. And then, you know, he would go in berserk mode and blah, blah, blah. And then he'd kill the fucking school shooter.
No, Bob brings up a good point. Has there been any Catholic school that's been shot up? Because those priests probably fucking use some like holy magic to stop fucking these fucking shooters.
I'm sure there's been a Catholic school that there's been a shooting.
Shot at, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm sure there probably has been, but I know in New Mexico that there are some teachers that they do have where they're carrying guns in school. They've been trained and they carry, and the principal carries, and there's a couple guys, you know, teachers that are in there that carry, and you know what? If people know that school has multiple teachers that are in there that are trained to come after people that, you know, that are going to try to harm kids, they won't go there. You know where they'll go? They'll go to a school that is not, where they don't have it, where they're like, oh, we can't have guns in schools. And all that they'll take the easy target. And Bob says Nashville was a Christian school. It wasn't Catholic. There's a difference between Christian and Catholic. Catholics, they used to have nuns and priests, which were different than what you have in a Christian school. So I don't know if a full-blooded Catholic school has ever been attacked. I don't know that.
Well, with that being said, you know what? Because I think we're hitting our time. There's one more thing I want to touch upon. John, if you will, we have some audio from the mayor of Cudahy, California. Because Jerry, on the last episode we were doing with Jody B, you were talking about how these fucking gangbangers are motherfucking pussies.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah. So play the audio and then I'll say my part to it. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Not for nothing, but I want to know where all the cholos are at in Los Angeles. 18th Street, Florencia. Where's the leadership at? Because you guys are all about territory, and this is 18th Street, and this is Florencia. You guys tag everything up, claiming hood. And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you. It's everyone else who's not about the gang life that's out there protesting and speaking up. We're out there like fighting our turf, protecting our people. And like, where you at? Bien calladitos, todos los chulitos. I'm like, dude.
All right, what did she just say?
She's saying that they're really quiet. That they ain't about shit. Is basically what she's saying.
All right, here we go.
They're running amok all up on your streets, and in your city. And peep, when the big gang guns come in, nothing but like quiet, and we're out here, the regular ones that have never been jumped in, out here calling things out, trying to organize people, trying to do the thing. So don't be trying to claim no block, no nothing. If you're not showing up right now, trying to like help out and organize, I don't want to hear a peep out of you once they're gone, trying to claim that this is my block. This was not your block. You weren't even here helping out. So whoever's the leadership over there, just fucking get your members in order.
Okay.
She's not wrong though, because me and Mike had this conversation that, you know, you have all these immigration raids going on, and like I said, me and Mike have both agreed, like, hey, just leave the Mexicans and the Colombian baddies alone. Everyone else, give them the fucking boot. Fuck them. You know what I mean? And like I had said, it's kind of ironic that, you know, it's gangland LA and, you know, hood this, hood that, but it's like you have situations like this where it's like you can't even protect your own neighborhood, right? And I had specifically said it's kind of funny because, you know, everyone's fucking gangbanging Capital Central, you know, Mr. Hood himself, but, you know, nothing gets done. And she had said this, And then someone else responded to her saying like, well, you know, if you really lived about that life, you know that there's rules to all this shit. It's like, nah, shut the fuck up. Because I even heard like a bunch of fucking fools talking. Even one of my homeboys tapped into me. He's like, hey, fool. He's like, you know, the shit you're saying, he's like, you can't really talk on it because you're not here. You're like, you're not active. I'm like, I don't need to be active in fucking California to understand that all y'all are fucking pussies. You know what I mean? Like, y'all claim all this bullshit that, you know, you're doing it for the fucking the body and all this bullshit. It's like, you're doing it for yourself. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's like, realistically, y'all hate the fucking cops as much as the next man. Apparently, y'all claim that fuck the police and all this bullshit. And it's like, but technically speaking, federal agents and cops are a completely different entity. They are. So for what it's worth, you know, if we're going by technicality, right? But again, at the end of the day, when you have cops, or not even cops, when you have federal agents and at that it's Homeland Security in your neighborhood doing all this shit, you're not doing a single fucking thing about it. You know what I mean? But they'll fucking sit there and fucking claim, oh, well, this block belongs to us. It's like, no, the fuck it doesn't, dude. Like, you're a fucking loser. Like, straight up, you're all fucking losers. You know, and this is coming from me, the Jerry boy that fucking did this, did that, has dirt, has stains, and has everything and some, right? Like, again, I understand where people come from that, oh, I live in a shitty neighborhood and this is all we got. And it's like, yeah, cool. That's a nice excuse when you're coming up, because it's true. Like, sometimes this is all you have, right? But then, like, once you get past that and you know you can make a difference and you can make some type of fucking change and you still choose not to, then y'all ain't shit. You know what I mean? And like she said, well, where the fuck y'all at? At least, where's your people at to show support to go do this and go do that? Like, yeah, and that part, she has a good point. It's like, yeah, y'all all fucking claim that y'all could do this, that, and the fourth. But when it comes down to actually helping fucking regular people that do need your help, maybe let's say it wasn't even about immigration. Let's just say it's about cleaning your fucking neighborhood so it doesn't look like a stinky piece of shit. Y'all still won't fucking do it. It's like, you guys are fucking lame, straight up.
Well, the problem is that most of them are illegals, and so if they come out,
that's not true.
No, that is not true,
bro. John, most of the niggas that gangbang are fucking people that are born here. Straight up. Like,
they're usually second or third gens, which is funny.
Third gens, yeah, or fourth gens at that.
So then that's the case. And then what they are is, you know, you ain't going to go up against these guys are the OG. In other words, you know, they got the National Guard there, they got ICE there. You know, they're not going to come out and get into a firefight with these guys. They'll get their asses kicked. I mean, this is for fucking real.
But also, too, a lot of the people and a lot of the fucking gangs that have been in LA since whenever the fuck, right? A lot of them have connections to the cartel. So they can't sit there and play the fucking, oh, well, we're too little. It's like, no, your people, some of your fucking families are in the cartel. So if you really wanted to pop some shit off, you would have fucking done it. But they won't. And again, maybe let's just be... Let's play the fucking middle ground, right? Maybe not advocate for full on violence and shit, but at least to help out what the fuck's going on, just to do something for the community that you live in. And they still won't do that. But they'll fucking sit there, not do shit, drink outside their goddamn house, smoke a bunch of fucking weed, and, oh yeah, this is the block. It's like, dude, you're lame.
It's easy to be a big, bad gangbanger when no one else has got guns and stuff. You know?
But also, I mean, they are also willing to fight. Like I said, it's not even like they're not scared of authority, because no, they will shoot cops. They will go in gunfights with cops. They will kill cops because one of their little homeboys got killed. But literally, this is like the defining moment. When you're getting into a gang, the whole reason gangs started to begin with was, you know, protect your neighborhood. That was literally rule one. And they couldn't even do that. And this is the layup. Like, this could have been good press and more people could have joined your little fucking faggy gang entirely. You could have some little white girls do it because these white girls are fucking putting in the work, apparently.
Yeah, all I'm saying is a lot of people that gangbang, you're all fucking pussies, straight up. Like, y'all talk a bunch of bullshit, but when push comes to shove, y'all don't stand on shit. Not me. I'm a very strong advocate of fuck the 51st state. Said it before, said it again, say it when I'm dying. So I'll say it when I'm in my death. I'll say it when I'm getting deported. I'll say it all the goddamn time. I stand by that. And I truly want to see America survive. Will we survive this attack from the 51st state? Damn, we're not. Let's just keep it a buck. Fucking the government's infected by them. And it is what it is. But I'll stand on that. I truly stand on that, and I will fucking believe it, and I will fucking prove people with evidence. I know, look.
What are we talking about now? The 51st state? What are we talking about?
No, I'm just saying you have to stand on what you believe, you know?
Okay.
And these fucking people, though, oh, this is our neighborhood. We own the block. Oh, but you don't fucking stand on it. You're all fucking pussies. You guys are going to die of a miserable death, and no one's going to remember you in fucking 20 days. I hope all y'all motherfuckers get shot. I hope all y'all get your asses beat at that. And it is what it is. That lady, you know, she called them out. And then the funny thing is, she calls them out, and then they're online talking shit about her. It's like, well, you don't fucking understand, eh? Because there's rules to this shit. It's like, what rules? You don't care. You're clearly doing illegal shit. So what fucking rules are you going by? Like the fuck, like fucking lame motherfucker. I swear.
Okay. All right. Are we going to play this message?
Oh, yes. Also, before we sign, because we're getting to the end, let's go listen to. We have one voicemail, by the way.
Wait to hear this.
About time.
Yeah, I have a specific whine. Yeah, I understand that the members of this podcast are of, let's just say, of Mexican descent. And I want to, and my whine is, why is it when Mexicans get on the road, they, for some reason, drive like there's nowhere to be. They're driving like 10, 20 miles under the speed limit. And I have somewhere to go. And I'm sorry that, you know, they have like these, what is it, the yellow tint glasses.
These people listen to us?
You know, like the yellow tint filter in like Breaking Bad, my favorite show.
What the fuck is
I don't
this?
understand. I just want to air out my feelings here.
This is who we're making entertainment for.
About slow drivers, like 10 miles under the speed limit.
Jesus
and they
Christ.
don't even stop for ambulances. They don't even stop for ambulances.
There's like 4 questions in
they don't
there.
stop for school buses that are stopped. I once saw...
If I were you, I'd put a 30-second fucking timer on here.
Well, no, it's our first voicemail, so, you know, let it play through.
So this is why,
I actually once saw a Mexican fellow who, when a cop...
I don't know if this is a bullshit voice message. It's trying to be funny.
I
There's
can't
no
take it
fucking
anymore.
way.
Okay, all right. So
Well,
let's break it down. Okay, so basically what he's saying is that Mexicans drive under the speed limit. Is this true?
I don't necessarily think so. I think
right,
maybe
so this guy's
the town
full of
he
shit.
lives in, maybe, but I can tell you this much. At least in Texas, no one gives a fuck about no goddamn 65. You're going at least 80 to 90 plus straight.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah,
He's full
I
of
don't,
shit.
Yeah, again, I don't know if they're trying to be fun. I mean, maybe in their
well,
town.
I mean, they
maybe
weren't trying
do.
to be funny because no one laughed, so I don't think they were trying that at all.
I don't know what that was.
Well,
It was some kind of
it was
again.
potentially one of the fans that you are going to inherit from being on this show, John.
Okay. All right.
Well,
All right. Anything else, gentlemen?
Not at all. I think that's a great time to take us out. Jerry, would you take us out, please?
Yeah. Well, I really don't know how to. I don't know if we're live streaming this. If this is going to go up on the other streaming platforms, like the audio version of it, or no?
Well, I don't know. I think if Mike ever decides to edit something, this will actually go out. I don't know. I can't tell you.
No. But I'm saying like,
It's going to be up on Twitch, is what he's saying. Is it going to be up permanently?
Oh yeah.
no, not Twitch. I'm saying like what we just said right now. Is it going to go on Spotify and Apple,
Yeah.
and all that, like the WAV file and all that?
Well, no, because he's going to send me the audio, and then I will edit it afterwards.
Yeah, but it's still going to go up.
Yes.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Nigga, Devin's dead, motherfucker. How's he gonna come back, huh?
Well,
Big
if we get
brain.
the Necronomicon, that's all.
You know what I mean? He's not fucking Walt Disney. You know, we clearly can't afford that, brother. You know, we have a budget. Our budget is John. The fuck?
I guarantee you, if I'm back next week, Devin will be here.
Oh,
just tell
yeah.
me.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just like that's the thing. Like I don't mind it, but also it's kind of weird. It's like, bruh, just let Devin be drunk in heaven listening to us. You know what I mean? Just I don't know. Anyway, point being, thank y'all for listening. I guess come on live streaming. Y'all could talk shit with us. Y'all can make little comments and all that. Yeah. Again, we got the streaming at the Fine Whining at the Fine Whining. I can't fucking say it. Mike, how do you say the fucking streaming one?
Well, you'll
I'll tell you
find,
what,
if
guys.
you like video games, you know, because, you know, like, God, I really need video game topics. You can find us over at twitch.tv, the Fine Whining Live, where you can occasionally see Cheese, because Cheese, you know, he appears once in a while and then promises that he's going to make a YouTube video and it doesn't happen. But, you know.
Wrap it up, guys.
You could
Jesus
also-
fucking Christ, you guys.
Okay, John, you know, please calm down, sir. We're getting to you. And with that, Jerry has a new episode on his podcast, Club 197. Go listen to that. You know, get some updates on his life. And of course, you know, we love John. We love everything about him. You can find him on the Boomer Bunker and yeah, I don't know what else. So Brandex Podcast says Brandex Podcast. Yes.
All right, hold on. Let me take this out. Let me do my own
okay.
plug.
It shows how it's done, John.
All right. So on Mondays and Thursdays, we do the we do the Boomer Bunker podcast over on Twitch, X, Rumble, Facebook, and YouTube. You can come join us there. And if not, you can listen to us at a podcast. Our links are over at boomerbunker.com. And I also have the Brand X podcast. You can find us wherever your podcasts are. Just search Brand X podcast and check it out. There you go, guys. Nice, quick, short, sweet.
That took forever, John. You need to cut it up a bit.
Shut up.
Okay, that's all for now.
Straighten you guys out.
I just fucking cut this shit off. I'll be like, I'm out. Bye. Boom. That's it. I don't shout shit out ever.
Good idea.
Good. Yeah.
Now this is all started.
Hey, dog. Y'all know the motherfucking vibe. Grab a motherfucking 6-pack. Grab a motherfucking 12-pack. Grab a motherfucking 24-pack. It don't matter, fool. Just get it. Yeah, I mean? And get lit, boy. You feel me? It's Friday, baby. Y'all know what the fuck it is, man. Hey.
Goddamn, it's more than no time. You know the vibe when it's motherfucking Friday night. I said, goddamn, it's more than no time. You know the vibe when it's motherfucking Friday night. I said, goddamn, it's more than no time. You know the vibe when it's motherfucking Friday night. I said, goddamn, it's more than no time. You know the vibe when it's motherfucking Friday night. I said, goddamn, you know what fucking time it is. Time to get drunk and get laced up on some shit. On the sick one, and we let it be known. Pull up anywhere with a motherfucking pack of more than lows. With some homies that are willing to ride. The ones that will shoot a fair one on sight. And if you don't want that, then we'll stomp you out with some black influences that drag and scrape the motherfucking ground. Hold on, move on, my man got the tips. Ready to cave your dog face in. Have the piece of man just run you over. Burn the bitch, you a plastic toy soldier. Before all that bullshit, I'm here to get drunk. Somos pocos pero locos and we do not give a fuck. Blast some corridos and make some carne asada. Y vete a la verga si no traes nada. Cause goddamn, it's more than no time. You know the vibe when it's motherfucking Friday night. I said, goddamn, it's more than no time. You know the vibe when it's motherfucking Friday night. I said, goddamn, it's more than no time. You know the vibe when it's motherfucking Friday night. I said, goddamn, it's more than no time.
You know the vibe when it's motherfucking Friday night.
Hey, go to the store, all the way to the back. Open the door, grab 3 24 packs. Come to the pad and grab a drink. Catch it to us with 6 beers in. Grab the Henny and take a motherfucking shot. It's tradition out here in these fucking parts. And take a blunt and take a hit. After that, drink another fucking 6. And now that you're wavy and you see the room moving, with Bing took 5, boy, now you're just cruising. You know exactly what time it is. These fools on the sick one lie, little Mr. E says, ain't it the truth? We never back down. Hop on a call, waiting for the sounds of the birds. You hear them chirping, hitting corners at 60 and not even swerving. Cause goddamn, it's more than no time. You know the vibe when it's motherfucking Friday night. I said, goddamn, it's more than no time. You know the vibe when it's motherfucking Friday night. I said, goddamn, it's more than no time. You know the vibe when it's motherfucking Friday night. I said, goddamn, it's more than no time. You know the vibe when it's motherfucking Friday night. I said, yeah. Y'all know the motherfucking vibe for Friday nights and shit. Shout out to Glizz on the track. Making. Oh yeah.